These trucks are on their way to deliver shells for tanks and artillery that the Russians desperately need to break through Ukrainian defenses. But just one HIMARS missile messes up the entire Russian military logistics. Millions of dollars go to waste exploding and scattering in all directions. The Russian plans for an active offensive in Donbass are now on hold. The supply chain for ammunition is disrupted. HIMARS has done its job perfectly. Russian generals give the order to locate and destroy this annoying HIMARS. This reconnaissance system moves into the target area. Operators set up a mobile tracking point, raising radar antennas and getting the Orlan 10 drone ready for surveillance. The Orlan takes off and the HIMARS search operation begins. After long hours of flight, the Russians finally spot the target and send the coordinates to destroy HIMARS.
Ястреб, я Волга. Квадрат 3327.
Принял! Расчет, готовность номер 1 к бою!
This missile system moves into position for the rocket launch. Meanwhile, the HIMARS continues its hunt with two key targets next in line. Two of Russia's most accurate artillery systems take their positions and open fire, preventing the Ukrainians from starting their assault on the Russians.
Let's fall back. Retreat. Retreat while there's smoke. Come on.
Using exact coordinates from Ukrainian recon, HIMARS fires two missiles. Just look at how precisely each missile hits its target. This anti-aircraft missile system is a major threat to Ukrainian aircraft and reconnaissance drones. The HIMARS has been tasked with clearing the skies for Ukrainian aviation. The first missile destroys the radar antenna. The second hits the launch system with pinpoint accuracy. With the interception threat gone, Ukrainian fighter jets push into enemy airspace, taking out a strategically crucial weapons depot. Mission accomplished. The coordination between air support, reconnaissance, and HIMARS was flawless. And here's the last target for the HIMARS. The BM-21 Grad opens fire, unleashing its full load on Ukrainian forces to prevent a counterattack against Russian positions. HIMARS unleashes its attack. The artillery threat is gone. The soldiers can continue the assault. HIMARS did a great job, firing all 6 missiles in its payload. Now, it's returning to a secure, camouflaged location for reloading so the crew can rest before their next mission. But all this time, Russian intelligence had been tracking HIMARS movements and relaying coordinates to their headquarters. The HIMARS crew leaves the vehicle to rest while they wait for new ammunition to arrive. Meanwhile, knowing HIMARS isn't going anywhere, the Russians give the order to launch a missile at the target. The launch is made from over 300 miles away from Russian territory. 20 minutes later, the missile reaches its target. Here you can see the first successful hit on a HIMARS in this war. This Russian recon operation shows the need to stay one step ahead of the enemy.
Цель уничтожена.
Still, this HIMARS caused much more damage and chaos to the Russian military than they gained by destroying it. But it's war, and this HIMARS won't be going on another mission. Luckily, the HIMARS crew was outside the impact zone and survived. The evacuation was immediate. HIMARS. High Mobility Artillery Rocket System. HIMARS has become one of the most significant game changers for Ukraine. Since receiving these systems from the U.S., Ukraine has inflicted severe damage on the Russian military, destroying command centers, ammunition depots, railway infrastructure, and bridges. This has heavily disrupted Russian supply chains. Russian generals have set a difficult objective: locate and eliminate all HIMARS systems. Meanwhile, Russia is burning through billions, losing rare, high-value equipment that's hard to replace. Just look at how this powerful artillery unit destroys Ukrainian trenches. Surviving hits like that is pure luck. After completing its mission, the artillery system moves to a concealed position to wait for the next task. But Ukrainian intelligence tracks its coordinates and sends them to a HIMARS unit. $2 million explode and burn up in mere minutes. This unique Russian surface-to-air missile system detected a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone and destroyed it with a precise hit. In the latest footage from the drone, the exact location of this position was visible due to the dug-up ground from tracks. The HIMARS operators, along with the intelligence, decided to strike that spot. The missile landed right next to the unit, hitting its ammunition with frags. The system, worth $7 million, along with its trained crew, was burned to the ground. This is Russia's most popular multiple launch rocket system. After attacking Ukrainian positions, it quickly retreats. This vehicle is very mobile, and within minutes it completely dissolves in the tree line. But the recon drone and HIMARS team works wonders. With a precise strike, HIMARS tears it to pieces. This system is called Smerch, and it's leveling a Ukrainian city that had blocked the path of Russian forces, a devastating sight as homes are reduced to rubble. After exhausting its rockets, the Smerch moves to reload, but reconnaissance quickly passes its coordinates to HIMARS. With 2 pinpoint missile strikes, this deadly machine is eliminated. This Russian advanced system controls the airspace in the Pokrovsk direction. Its task is to prevent Ukrainian helicopters, frontline aviation, and surveillance drones from entering the area. It greatly frustrates Ukrainian scouts who remain blind and unable to observe the battlefield. This was the 6th drone shot down in a day. Fortunately, it managed to detect the location of the system. The location was passed to the HIMARS, and 2 missiles were launched at the target. However, due to a lack of awareness and visibility on the battlefield, the Ukrainians did not notice this surface-to-air missile system designed to protect troops and facilities from air attacks. The operator detects 2 fast-flying HIMARS rockets in his sector and manages to launch a surface-to-air missile, destroying just 1 target. Meanwhile, the 2nd HIMARS rocket continues its flight and hits its target, a unique system that had literally blinded the Ukrainians by destroying their drones time after time. The threat is gone, and the Ukrainian scouts can finally launch a drone into the sky. Realizing that their cover is gone, the Russians try to hide this system in the tree line. After a day, the Ukrainians located it and sent the precise coordinates to the HIMARS units. The HIMARS does its job perfectly, destroying this unique system that cost $25 million. So what can Russia bring against HIMARS? Russia has a large number of multiple launch rocket systems. The most mobile and widely used is the BM-21 Grad. This system has 40 rockets that are 122 millimeters, and it can fire them in just 20 seconds to hit targets up to 10 miles away. It's extremely deadly for infantry and lightly armored vehicles. However, the system has a downside. It strikes a large area, making precise hits difficult. The main idea behind this system is to blanket the enemy with fire, preventing them from advancing. There is also the Smerch system. It is less mobile, mounted on a bulkier chassis, and can fire 12 solid-fuel, 300-millimeter rockets in one volley, reaching distances of up to 50 miles. Smerch is far deadlier than Grad. Despite its power and destructiveness, Russian systems are highly inaccurate. They scatter their strikes over a wide area rather than eliminating targets with a single precise hit. This is where HIMARS shines. It would take about 20 Smerch rockets for the Russians to destroy one target. On Ukraine's battlefields, you can see numerous craters left by Russian systems. In contrast, HIMARS destroys targets with high precision while preserving Ukrainian land. Russians are also using inhumane types of weaponry. This refers to the most powerful multiple launch rocket system in their arsenal. Once caught in its strike zone, survival is impossible. Its munitions burn up all the oxygen and create a powerful shock wave that causes internal organs to rupture due to the sudden pressure difference. The horror of this weapon is accompanied by its inherent lack of accuracy. The TOS rocket complex was not designed for precision but to blanket entire areas, burning everything within. The system can simultaneously launch 24 rockets with a caliber of 220 millimeters, covering an area of 10 acres. Fortunately, their firing range is limited to just 4 miles, restricting their use to the battlefield. After this horrific attack, the TOS-1 quickly tries to escape from a retaliatory strike. But as it says in the Bible, "For all who draw the sword will die by the sword." And the HIMARS, acting as the sword, sends this terrible Russian machine to hell. Just look at the shock wave. This is the most powerful explosion from a system worth $5 million. The Russian command is doing everything it can to locate the HIMARS systems using satellites and drones. In their attempts to destroy HIMARS, Russia has wasted hundreds of precision-guided missiles on decoy targets. Well, this tactic actually works. A $10,000 decoy managed to draw out a $3 million ballistic missile. Not a bad trade-off, right? The Ukrainians set up production of various models that match the original HIMARS in size. They equipped these decoys with devices that generate heat, just like the real systems. And this is how a simple human error led to the loss of an actual HIMARS complex, not just a decoy. At first glance, it looks like a familiar routine. Intelligence locates a target and relays the coordinates to HIMARS. The target has been destroyed. Recon watches the enemy equipment burn, and the HIMARS relocates out of the launch area. Meanwhile, Russian intelligence, in an attempt to locate the HIMARS, launches a drone to observe the area. The target is found. The Ukrainians chose not to camouflage the HIMARS, knowing that no Russian artillery system could reach it from such a distance. But the Russians used the SS-26 Stone operational tactical missile complex, capable of launching a missile up to 300 miles. Ignoring basic camouflage rules cost the HIMARS crew their lives. The cluster warhead detonated directly above the HIMARS, setting off its ammunition and tearing apart this valuable combat vehicle and its trained crew. They say rules are forged in blood for a reason. So you may ask, have we found the HIMARS killer if the tactic with the SS-26 Stone worked? That's not entirely correct. The SS-26 Stone is indeed a dangerous system, but it's no match for HIMARS. It lacks mobility and cannot quickly retreat if detected, meaning it would be destroyed immediately upon discovery on the battlefield. It's typically deployed from a safe distance, between 180 to 300 miles from the target. Thus, the SS-26 Stone is primarily used as a defensive measure and for executing specific strategic objectives rather than for conventional combat operations. This can't be said for the HIMARS systems, which sneak around the battlefields, taking out targets one by one and disappearing within minutes. Its arsenal includes 6 highly accurate guided rockets capable of hitting targets up to 45 miles away. Alternatively, it can be loaded with a single tactical missile designed for long-range strikes of up to 190 miles, similar to the SS-26 Stone, though with a shorter reach. While Russia relies on brute force, a more powerful but less precise arsenal, each HIMARS strike isn't just damage to Russian forces, but a clear demonstration of American military superiority on the world stage. If you want more episodes, please like and leave comments. This will be a great incentive to release a new video. See you soon.